now.
Hey, Geeks. This is the Walking Dead review. I'm Sean. With me, I have Lynn.
What's up, everybody?
And we are going to be reviewing episode 15 of season 8 for The Walking Dead. It's this past weekend's episode was titled Worth. Here's a little blurb. See Rick be vulnerable in that moment and cry, and not like a sob cry, but like consciously taking it in and letting it affect him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was really nice, and you see Jerry, carrying the baby. What was her name? Gracie.
Gracie,
and then you see little Judith down there playing with Michonne. And so it's a really good. The way they shot this was really good. Carl's voice in this one was definitely like, dude, I don't get it. What's up with the season? Sometimes they do really good job with some of these writings with having the voice of the character, but a majority of the season it's been writing. This one was good writing. I felt like this letter with Carl speaking it was good writing.
I think Carl overall is the only salvation of this season whatsoever. Every episode that he's been, every conversation he's had, it's all been strong. There's nothing weak. And this is hysterical considering how many people bitch and complaining when Carl was younger. Why don't you just stay in, Carl? Why you gotta leave, Carl?
Where's Carl?
Yeah.
He's always over there wandering around like a dumb kid.
Yeah.
But it was a really good way to open up this episode. I liked it. It was a nice, softer side of things. Like finally, it's coming around to where Rick was, and then they forced him to go the opposite way. We've talked about it before, but it felt like it's okay. Finally, he might be back at that point where he's realizing like
his wake up call.
I need to get back to looking towards the future.
Yeah.
Being happy and things of that nature. We also in the blurb I just read, we also talk about Daryl and Rosita. Daryl and Rosita went in and scoped out Eugene's little place last episode, and this week's episode, after Eugene talks about his college days and what he used to eat, sardines and mac and cheese, which with a garlic little twist in there makes it taste good. I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, never in a day, man. Never in a day.
Did you see the way, obviously that did not look like sardines in there. There was something in the mac and cheese or whatever, but that didn't look pleasant. I'll say this. So it takes a guy like Eugene to like that, I guess. But he goes out of there after he has some conversations with Gabriel, reprimanding about the bullet, how it's not flush. And do you think Gabriel did that on purpose, or he really did?
Yeah, he said he did. He said, I didn't want anybody to die. I was hoping that, they just fail, and he admits to messing them up. So, but
it was weird. It was weird. He goes outside and gets kidnapped. Two of his homies.
You're talking about the bullet makers?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: most of those people are civilians.
I know. But in my head, I was like, "Go, just take them all out."
I was more like, okay, you got Eugene, knock him over the head, put him out for a little bit, yes. But at the same time, that you can use it. They did all this work. Use it. Why the hell would you sit there?
I was of two minds when I was happy that finally they didn't overshoot the landing, and they finally did something that okay, it seems like it's working now. But then at the same time, I was like, but you have a clear-cut opening. It was but I was happy they were getting away with Eugene. How'd you feel about Eugene's little puke moment?
I'm like, really? That's what
Rosita said.
I'm like, first of all, the conversation that he and Rosita have beforehand, man, I'm so in love with her because she was so badass on him, and I like that because it still keeps that division between her and him. That no matter what he fucking says, she's not having it.
I don't know necessarily how completely I feel this way. Part of me does not want to see Eugene be redeemed.
Yeah, I don't either.
Part of me really wants to see him crying and broken because he betrayed his friends, the ones that protected his ass for years.
The longest.
Yes. And part of me wants to see him crying and begging for life while he gets killed and eaten by a zombie or something. And even then, like they said, we're not going to kill you right now because we need what's in your head about making bullets, things like that. That's fine. That's fine. But I'm at this point where I really don't see Eugene coming back to them. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see Eugene forgiven.
No. Not right away.
Yeah, it would take a lot of work
Hell, Gabriel went 2 seasons almost before he found redemption in himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
He was kind of, he wasn't sure. Yeah, it took Gabriel a long time, and I don't think we're going to have that period of time because we only have 1 episode left, and the next season is going somewhere, hopefully. But all I know is I like what Rosita was telling him. I like what Daryl told him. I like that they were treating him like, dude, you freaking turned your back on us and you did us dirty.
You're basically a piece of shit. We've wiped our hands clean of you.
Yeah, so I'm happy they did that. But at the same time, when he did his throw up thing and got away, and I was like, that little freaking weasel. Like, of course he hid in there and got away. Of course he did.
And then where he hid is like the ashes of all the dead ones.
Yeah, that's whew. Now, like at least we see this in his character is that he's willing to do just about whatever it takes to survive. I mean, he bit Dwight in the dick, you know.
Yeah, but
I
don't appreciate that because, of course, we all know where he went back after that, and he basically punked out Daryl and Rosita, two strong, fighters for Rick's side. Like they were just like, and why, for obvious reasons, did he get there so fast?
He was right there at that opportunity. He had an opportunity to leave, and not have to live that life and treat people like garbage.
No, but he wants that umbrella factor. So he's got to go where he feels he's safe.
Yeah, and he's gonna cry to them when we know that Rick's side's gonna win. He's gonna cry to them to come back, etc., etc. At that point, I don't want him coming back. I really want to see him get bit by a walker right in his neck and gurgle out crying. I really do. That's what I want to see happen to Eugene. Right in front of I want to see that happen right in front of Rosita and someone else.
They've already went off the book, so right now I could care less if he dies.
So let's go into some other things. So they teased us about who Negan picked up.
Not for a while though.
Oh, but they teased us in the last episode.
Yeah.
So we were debating about that. In the lead up to that point, they did a good job of not even talking about it. They just started going with what's going on with now that Negan's back. He surprises Dwight outside with some whistling and kind of confirms Dwight's allegiance to him, right? He goes and talks the same thing to all of the lieutenants at the table and makes Simon think he's gonna bash his head in at the table. That was a little interesting. I thought at least Simon would try something, right?
Well, I expect this. I like the way they focused it when they kept showing his face. I expected him to not kneel, to stand up and I am not going to do that.
Yeah, if you're gonna take me out, take me out.
Yeah.
Face, right? That's what I thought. He was gonna do something at least like that.
Yeah.
And he was giving up. I was like, this doesn't seem right. But Negan let him go. Of course, they were teasing us with that. And we have a conversation between Dwight and Simon about, we got to do this now. Let's get all of our like-minded individuals together, yada, yada. And Dwight turns his back on Simon. And at this point, like we were talking about last week, Negan picked up somebody which confirmed that Dwight is now, turned his back on them as well. So even though Dwight does Negan a solid taking out Simon and them, which all right, now these guys are the next lieutenants, and now they're just as good lieutenants,
Well, no, he's going to replace them with the ones that are loyal to him that can still fight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he does lose a certain person that could help him win it.
Well, he lost 5 people right there at that moment when they all got shot, 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, but this is the same person who said people are a commodity.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think losing those 5, 6 people, I think at least a little bit it might help. But I guess, there's more people in the sanctuary than we think. I guess because they can just replace them like that.
I know. Talk about a birthing machine.
What did Simon's reaction to Dwight? That was something more like what I expected from Simon.
Yeah.
Like an burst, especially after we learned at the table what Simon was like before they got the sanctuary, where he killed the kids and the kids and the men or whatever. Yeah. What was he? The kids and the family.
the kids, the families, you know, well, he started with the men, women, kids, you know, all the families that were at whatever
place that some
settlement.
Yeah. So to me, that was like, oh damn! So he literally is crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's caught it.
He's Trevor.
Well, yeah.
he's a more socialized Trevor.
He's more. I mean, actually, Trevor is well spoken as well in the game. You know.
Oh no, Trevor's more batshit crazy than Simon.
He is, but Trevor still throws out those lines that are like, "That's very articulate, Trevor." You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
but they're small. They're very little. So, where Simon's more strategic and more, you know.
Yeah. Simon's higher up, but I mean, yeah, he's just as crazy or almost as crazy as Trevor, taking out kids, killing kids. That's the big thing right there, killing kids. If he's going to kill kids, he won't kill anybody.
Yeah.
Negan decides to give him a chance. All right, you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. So he challenges him to a fight.
Quoting Ric Flair in the Apocalypse.
Yeah, and this was I liked the fight. I liked that.
Oh, I hated the fight.
I liked it in the sense that I respected the fact that Negan was willing to put it on the line to show everybody, like, hey, look, I am still the man.
That was fine. That's not what I disliked about it.
Oh, what did you like about the fight?
The overall choreography. Oh. And the fact that Simon, whoever worked with Simon, was like, his fists were like way up here, and Negan's head was like, what? Just popping. I'm like, where are you swinging at, bro? He's like, you can't throw a straight punch.
To me, the fight was secondary to what the fight represented, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it was more so about Negan, you know, putting his foot in the ground, say, I'm the big dog here. You all listen to me. That's where I was looking at it. And it was all, I mean, it wasn't a ploy, but the plan that he drew up was a ploy, and he used the fight as an opportunity for Dwight to do his backstabby thing and send off the false information. So at this point, we're still going along with these characters. Simon gets murdered. You know, Negan takes him out, asserts his authority. Dwight sends off Gregory to go give off the map with the plans, and then shortly thereafter, Dwight is found out and confronted by Negan with the blonde girl that escaped. So, are you okay with this? Where it's going right now? Are you worried a little bit? Are you?
Not really. Not really. I'm not too worried about it because I'm hoping that, you know, Daryl and Rosita are still close by. And they could actually help get him out of the situation.
Dwight?
Yep. So I'm hoping that, you know, because we didn't see them after that.
No.
So
we don't know what's going to happen to Dwight right now.
No.
And we don't know where Daryl and Rosita are at after they went looking for Eugene.
Yeah.
And we're at a point, though, with all that, though. I think Dwight... I really hope Dwight survives and becomes the leader of the Sanctuary, like in the book, you know. Or if not that's leader, but hopefully he survives. I don't want to see Dwight dead.
Yeah.
Dwight's gone through so much for him to die. I really want to see him live. You know, to me, he's one of the tortured souls in the main cast of characters. Yeah. What else we got? We got after that. We got.
No, throughout that we had Aaron.
Yeah, way prior to that, the other letter you're talking about, Michonne goes to read Negan's letter to him through the radio, and it was a good letter. To me, it wasn't as good as the one to Rick.
Well, he was writing it specifically to the individual as he sees them, so it made sense.
So it was nice, but Negan is now at that point where, all bets are off.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
It's like the letters have opposite reactions. Because now we got Negan where Rick was, and we have Rick where Negan was with the junk people at the end when he's talking to Jadis.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, there's that switcheroo.
Yeah, it's gonna go somewhere. Hopefully that it follows the book, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So the stuff with Aaron, we're gonna jump over to that now. The stuff with Aaron and wandering around, they make it look like he's been wandering around for days.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming it's been at least a couple days without food or water.
Yeah.
Because he looks pretty bad, pretty worse off. Yeah, they are. The thing is, though, it's where has he been going? Has he been just following them, or has he just been waiting outside their place of
I think he's just hanging out, being a tree person or what have you, try to get them to, hey, you should fight, you should.
So there was something that was said during, I think, Talking Dead, or it was something that I read in an article. I can't remember which, and they said that the sea people, the coast people, agreed, and I was like, they didn't agree. Aaron said something, and they were all quiet.
I did, to be honest. Whatever was said, it just like went in one ear, out my other ear, because I'm gonna have to watch it again with the wife.
Yeah.
Because I was like, he's mumbling. What is he saying? I'm like,
works to the effect if you.
He said something about them. They could help. They hid.
Yeah, they forced you to hide because Sanctuary killed their men. Remember?
Yeah.
Took out their men. So they killed their men. They did hard things to you. They forced you to hide. They changed who you were.
Chose not to fight.
This, if you keep choosing not to fight, and so you need to choose to fight to end this.
Yeah.
And so it works to the effect. I appreciate what Aaron's doing, but at the same time, it's kind of like
cut your losses, man.
I don't get this whole thing about him wandering around out there. I really don't.
No.
It's how is the weather so severe as well? It's like pouring rain, and then it's sunny over there.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
To be fair, as someone who lives in Florida, where I can have...
Well, I've been to Florida, yeah.
No, but this is southern weather. So, where you could be in one block, and it's downpour, and then you just cross the street to the next block, and it's not even wet yet. It's not even cloudy.
They're not in Florida or the South anymore.
They're not in Washington anymore. They're not in Washington.
Yeah, they are.
What makes you think they're in Washington?
That's where they went up to go past Virginia to get to Alexandria. They're not in the South anymore.
Dude, where do you think Washington is? Like not. But first of all, they should be in Maryland and still in the Virginias.
Yeah.
Not in Washington D.C.
South.
Because they haven't been to Washington D.C. since they went to the CDC. They're still south.
CDC was in Atlanta.
But they haven't been to Washington. They cut that when Dickhead gave up the truth. They cut that. They never went to Washington.
Well, I'm gonna say that they're in Washington because that's where they went to Alexandria. They're not in the South right now. They're in Washington area. Yeah, they are. Anyway, so all I know is that Aaron is over there wandering around aimlessly, which makes no sense. It's because he got out and said, "You drive back. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna do what I gotta do." If he's gonna do what he gotta do, how about go talk to him? You know, like try to break bread and just say, "Please don't shoot me right off the bat. Please, let's talk." You know.
He was a little bit beat up. Maybe he tried that. They roughed him up a bit.
See, this is another thing that I don't get is like bad editing, right?
Yeah.
It's like bad editing. All of a sudden, Aaron's wandering around like he's been, I don't know, out there for days at a time with no food or water. It's just really weird. To me, it doesn't line up as smoothly as it should. What else we got, Lynn, in this episode? You're fresher in your mind than it is my mind.
I think that was pretty much it. It was the Michonne subplot. Rick getting the plans. Fucking Gregory's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered anything that had to do with Negan and Simon and Dwight. And the only place that they left us hanging is where the hell did Rosita and Daryl go?
Alright, so look into next week. In the trailer for next week, they show a lot of like guns firing, but they don't show like anybody getting killed.
Yeah, they show any opposing sides.
Yeah, they just show people like firing guns, right?
Yeah, close range camera shots.
And they're like on a hill, like in a field. So do you think that's like they're flanking the sanctuary's people or something on the march to the hilltop?
It could be one of the open spots that Negan had marked off to keep them trapped in. So they could be in one of those areas.
Yeah, where they thought they were gonna go. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm thinking that they're. Do you think that Rick has figured that Negan's playing war games with him?
I hope. I really hope. Because I would hope that he's not trusting anything that came from Gregory's hands.
Yeah. But also at this point in the game, it's like, we got to have our own plan.
Yeah.
Can't be reactionary to everything. We got to have our own plan. What are you hoping for next week?
A solid end-all, be-all fist fight between Rick and Negan.
At least that.
Yeah, no, that's what I need to see. And that kills the end of the war right then and there, because of course Rick ends up beating his ass within an inch of his life, and we know what happens after that.
So the shooting stops, and he said, let's just handle this mano a mano.
Yeah.
Do it. And this will end everything.
Yeah. Because that tease that they had in the one house was not enough. So
they teased it a few times this year.
No, yeah, but at least this one and that one they were going full at it.
Yeah.
So I want more of that. That's not in there. I don't want to hear anything else.
Man, I'm gonna be very, very disappointed if they get to a point at the end of tomorrow's this week's episode. If they get to the end of it and they have not resolved the war, I'm very, very upset, because now we're going on season 2.5 now. 2.5. They can't keep going. They've already done 2 seasons with the storyline, and they just keep dragging it out. They need to, figure out how this is going to end.
And who knows? Maybe that other community pops up and lends Rick a hand.
The one where the lady came with the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
And they showed us Jada, so she's still going to play a part in the last episode.
I wonder what she's going to do, if she's going to go to Rick or go to Negan. Part of me thinks that she would go to Negan because Negan kills Simon.
But she doesn't know that.
Well, what if she goes towards it and sees it, and then, okay, well, he killed the guy.
First of all, I don't. Since she's by herself, I don't think she's going to leave there. I think the one scene that they showed her looked like she was going back into her house.
Yeah.
So I don't know, unless she's opening the door for someone to walk in.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be it.
Okay. And now I want to find out what's going on with that helicopter.
Yeah.
What's going on with the helicopter? Give me a conclusion to this war. Do not do any cliffhangers with this war. They can definitely open things up for the next season, like leave us with some stuff to ponder.
Yeah.
But war needs.
But that has to be like as close to the end of the credits as possible,
and separate from the war.
Yes.
Yeah. So the next one's called Wrath. Let me see a little bit about the episode. It's the communities join forces in the last stand against the Saviors as all-out war unfolds. God, I hope this concludes it. This is one of the things, like, people didn't like the last season of Game of Thrones because they said it was too much fan service. To me, it was like, it's not fan service. They're just closing up story loops.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you have to do at a certain point in time, and that's kind of how I feel that what they need to do with this show is they need to start closing up some of these loops, some of these storylines. And I want to see Eugene getting bit, gurgling out, dead.
Yeah.
Any last words, Lynn?
Oh, please just let this be over with. That's all I can say.
And we're saying this because they're dragging it.
Yes.
Please do it. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us. Check out the podcast. It'll be Thursday. Might be running a little later than usual. Lynn, anything you want to say other than that?
No, we're good, man. Just follow us at all the links below and just give us some love, man.
Give us some love. All right, for Lynn and myself, I thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.